Okay, Herc, a lot to unpack there from Greg Burhalter's press conference. Let's start with the last quote that we heard, though. He's talking about Ricardo Pepi. Don't need him to score 5 goals. Need him to play like a forward in our system. What do you make of it?
Damn you, system! It's a coach wanting to implement a system, even though he maybe doesn't have the personnel at this time. And he even alluded to it, saying we have 5 starters who aren't here. Read into that what you will of who those 5 starters are. I'm sure you're going to come down with one surprise. It may be in the goalkeeping position. But this is him saying that Ricardo Pepi is good for a lot of things, not just scoring, and that what he needs from his 9 isn't scoring. Though it's Ricardo Pepi's scoring that led him to have his job be saved in the opening window. It's Ricardo Pepi's scoring that made him the 2nd highest goal scorer in World Cup qualifying behind Christian Pulisic. It's Ricardo Pepi's scoring that in 6 games, his very first 6 games as an international, gave him 3 goals and 3 assists. If it's not about scoring at the 9 position, then what is it? It can't just be interpretation of space. It can't just be this movement. It can't just be associating in the final third with other players, trying to make them shine better. If at the end of the day, what you need is goals from the 9 position, or any position, who's usually the most important goal scorer on every team? It's the 9. Now, Ricardo Pepi, for as young as he is, he's proven to be a goal scorer. Get him hot again. You need to drill it into his head that he needs to score goals.
Herc, how desperate is tomorrow's game against Saudi Arabia for a guy like Ricardo Pepi? Do you think it is his last chance? Because I'm thinking here, he's been given this opportunity, clearly hasn't been called in a while. If he doesn't play well, if he doesn't score against Saudi Arabia, and a guy like Jordan Pefok continues to do what he's continued to do from jump, which is keep scoring goals, no reason to think he's going to stop scoring goals right now. Does Pepi miss the boat? Is this kind of an all-or-nothing game for Ricardo Pepi, in your opinion?
It really is. He's been given this opportunity because of what he did for Greg Burhalter in the past, saving Greg Burhalter's job in the opening window. That's why you have this opportunity right now. But also because Greg Burhalter was influential in you going to Augsburg. He told you it would be a good decision in your career. It was not. It put you back. Now you're in a situation where you're back on the board. And not only are you back on the board, but psychologically, you're back a little. Because that Pepi swag, we've not seen it. That Pepi arrogance, we've not seen it. And now he has it. And Greg Burhalter will exhaust all opportunities for Ricardo Pepi to take that last train to Qatar.
Herc, it applies to Pepi, but at one point it applied to you. So give me that player's perspective, because Greg Burhalter also talked about that in the press conference. Not giving the guys a pass, but maybe giving a little excuse as to why the performance against Japan wasn't great. There's pressure right now. Guys are playing for minutes. They're playing for World Cup roster spots. You've been there. What's that like, and how does it impact how you're playing?
I was more Jordan Pefok, the guy trying to get on the radar for the national team coach, the guy who kept banging in goals, and for whatever reason, the coach wasn't calling him in. That is a frustrating position. But as far as the pressure, I mean, if you're nervous now, if your knees are jello today, what's it going to be like when you realize you are starting or playing in a World Cup in front of England, in front of Wales, when the whole world is watching? What's that going to be like? I understand Greg Burhalter to an extent in what he is saying, but stop coddling these players. They're no longer kids. They are professionals who, some of them play on some of the best teams and some of the best leagues in the world. And you can't grab them by the hand. You can't lead them to water. You have to now say, we've come this far because of what we've done as a program. Here you go. You also need to perform. Quit making excuses for the players, because the players won't make excuses from you when it's over.
All right, so there we have it. Ricardo Pepi going to get his chance against Saudi Arabia in the starting lineup for the U.S. men's national team. A couple other guys got their chance for the U.S. against Japan. Josh Sargent getting the second half, Jesus Ferreira the first up top, and as you can see, not a lot of output from the striker position for the U.S. men's national team against Japan.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.